Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're taking a really fascinating journey across India's rapidly evolving landscape. We're going to zero in on a very specific snapshot in time, July 22nd, 2026. In this explainer, we're going to unpack some truly remarkable developments that span all the way from indigenous art to high-tech crime and even some sweeping, game-changing agricultural missions. So let's get right into it. Okay. Let's look at today's agenda. First, we'll explore how Santali cinema is making history. Then we'll travel to the Northeast for Meghalaya's Golden Spice mission. After that, we've got to examine the alarming cybercrime surge happening right now, before looking at how we're empowering our senior citizens. And finally, we'll wrap the whole thing up with future challenges and triumphs. Section 1. Santali cinema makes history.
Now, it has been an absolutely massive year for regional cinema, but quick question for you. Do you know which Santali language film recently broke through the glass ceiling to become the very first to ever win a National Film Award?
The answer is a film called Anjan, which translates to invisible. It was directed by Ravi Raj Murmu, and this incredible piece of cinema just created absolute history at the 72nd National Film Awards. It's a monumental achievement for regional representation in Indian cinema.
And what this really shows is the sheer power of concise storytelling. Ravi Raj Murmu took home the award for Best Debut Film of a Director in the non-feature category. But get this, what's truly amazing is the runtime. It's just 12 minutes and 10 seconds long. In that incredibly short window, the film, which is actually inspired by a mystical indigenous folktale, manages to beautifully showcase the tribal culture and deep storytelling traditions of Jharkhand right there on the national stage. It just goes to show you really don't need a 3-hour, big-budget blockbuster to make a massive cultural impact, right?
Section 2. Meghalaya's Golden Spice Mission. Let's pivot for a second and talk about agriculture. There's a highly specialized agricultural investment making waves right now called Mission Golden Spice. Any guesses on where exactly this was launched? If you guessed Meghalaya, you hit the nail on the head. Officially launched by Union Minister Jyotiraditya M. Scindia, alongside Meghalaya's Chief Minister, Conrad K. Sangma, this is a huge push to elevate a very specific regional crop to a truly premium global standard.
Now, why is this such a big deal? Well, consider this number, 7 to 10%. That represents the remarkably high curcumin content of the GI-tagged Lakadong turmeric, which is the exact focus of this whole mission. Along with this sky-high curcumin content, it boasts a phenomenal aroma and exceptional nutraceutical value. So we're not just talking about everyday turmeric from the grocery store here. This is a highly specialized agricultural asset.
So let's break down how this convergence-led initiative actually works in practice. Formally, it's known as the Integrated Lakadong Turmeric Value Chain Enhancement Project. It operates on a strict 5-year timeline, from 2025 to 2030, and it's backed by a very substantial budget of 175.45 crore rupees. The execution is super structured. Phase 1 is all about value chain strengthening, basically getting the foundation rock solid. Once that's locked in, they move to Phase 2, which is completely focused on expansion and scale-up. It's literally a textbook example of smart, strategic agricultural investment.
All right. Section 3. The alarming cybercrime surge.
We need to shift gears to something a bit more serious now. Looking at the latest 2024 Crime in India report from the National Crime Records Bureau, the NCRB, a really striking data point emerges. Which state do you think recorded the highest number of cybercrime cases? The data points directly to Telangana. It's a sobering statistic for sure, and it really demands that we take a closer look into what's happening with our digital footprint across the country.
Let's put that into perspective with the actual numbers. Telangana leads the pack with a staggering 27,230 cases in 2024 alone. They're followed closely by Karnataka with 21,993 cases, and then Uttar Pradesh with 11,073 cases. It's a really heavy concentration, and it shows us exactly where the current battlegrounds for digital security are located.
But the national comparison is where the reality really sets in. Back in 2020, India recorded just over 50,000 cybercrime cases. Fast forward to 2024, that number has absolutely skyrocketed past 101,000 cases. That is a sharp, alarming upward trend of over 100% in just 4 years. As our personal digital footprints expand, our vulnerabilities are clearly scaling right alongside them.
Just to round out our understanding of the NCRB findings, there are two more critical statistics you should know. When we look at union territories, Delhi recorded the highest number with 404 cases in 2024. Furthermore, when classifying these crimes under the Information Technology Act, computer-related offenses were by far the most common, accounting for nearly 37,000 cases. It paints a very clear picture, honestly. Everyday computer and smartphone-related frauds are the primary threats that law enforcement is grappling with today.
Okay, moving to Section 4, Empowering Our Senior Citizens.
When we talk about social welfare, the Atalvayo Abhyuday Yojana, commonly known by its acronym AVAJ, is a totally critical safety net. But do you know which specific government ministry actually holds the mandate to implement it?
The answer, as recently informed to Parliament in a written reply, is the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Their core mandate here is to actively promote the welfare, dignity, and social security of our senior citizens.
You can think of AVA as this massive umbrella, so let's quickly break down its key components. First up is the Elder Line, which you can reach at 14567. It operates across 32 states and UTs from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., offering everything from crucial information and counseling to actual rescue and grievance redressal. Next, we have IPSRC, the Integrated Program for Senior Citizens, which actively supports 734 senior citizen homes through direct grants and aid. And finally, the scheme includes SAGE, the Senior Care Aging Growth Engine, as well as RVY, the Rashtriya Vayashri Yojana. It's a comprehensive, multi-pronged approach specifically designed to address all these different facets of senior welfare in the real world.
Finally, Section 5, Future Challenges and Triumphs.
We've covered a lot today. We've seen how a 12-minute short film can bring indigenous folklore to national prominence, and we've witnessed multi-core investments pouring into specialized agriculture like the Lakadong turmeric. But on the flip side, we've also seen a 100% spike in cybercrime right alongside the complex machinery required to support a growing aging population. So I want to leave you with this question to ponder. As India scales these incredible new heights in culture and agriculture, are we fully prepared for the complex digital and demographic challenges of tomorrow? It's a delicate balancing act of progress and protection. Well, that brings us to the end of today's Explainer. Thank you so much for being such an engaged audience, and I highly encourage you to keep exploring these topics on your own. See you next time.